What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Derpy Warby. I'm coming at you with another video, and we've been talking a whole lot about Assassin's Creed Shadows, whether it's the fact that no audience actually likes this game and hasn't been actually interested in this game ever since the initial launch trailer. And when we scroll down on the trailer itself, you can see a massive 595,000 downvotes to only 299 upvotes. And you can see this trend even replicated over on the official Japanese launch trailer. And when you actually take a look at its like to dislike ratio, it's just as bad, coming in at 56,000 downvotes to only 5.4 thousand upvotes. The game has been rejected by both Western audiences and Japanese audiences alike. Nobody has been excited for this game. And even though Ubisoft came out and actually said that they are delaying the game till February 2025, citing Star Wars Outlaws as actually being one of the main reasons that they were pushing this game back and the failure that that game was, we later found out that this move alone would actually cost the company roughly 200 million euros in actual costs. And when you actually do the conversion rate on 200 million euros, that's roughly $21 million US. It's a bad number. That's a big number. And that's just more money being thrown onto the already inflated budget of this game, which also means this game now needs to sell even more copies in order to actually break even and bring in a profit. Not looking good for the game. And we recently went over the fact that Ubisoft's own executives were saying that the game was garbage. In a recent interview with Mark Alexis, we actually found out that also roughly 50% of the developers on this game have never made a game in their entire life and know absolutely nothing about the Assassin's Creed franchise. Well, in the exact same interview, we also got yet another really big revelation of some of the Ubisoft execs and some of the Assassin's Creed developers, and the fact that they don't know how to even reach gamers. Assassin's Creed executive producer admits Ubisoft does not know where players are and how company can reach them. They're already admitting that they don't know how to actually get an audience. They don't know how to actually reach gamers and actually communicate with gamers and tell gamers to come out here and buy our game. They know nothing about what it is that they need to do because all they are seeing is gamers turn away from their company, reject their brand, and say that they want to go somewhere else instead of constantly buying subpar slop for over-the-top prices. But when we scroll down here, we can actually see what he had to say. Assassin's Creed executive producer Mark Alexis recently admitted that Ubisoft does not know where players are and does not know how to reach players with its games during the Q&A portion of an interview at XDS24 conference. Cote was asked how external development will affect Ubisoft in the next 3 to 5 years. He responded, "I think we're in an era of peak change. I don't know what the industry is going to look like in 5 years, but clearly we're transforming, and I think it can create anxiety. I see it as a challenge that we need to solve together because whether it's the AAA or even the more indie space, the recipe for success as it's been in the last maybe 20 years is dramatically shifting." And that's true. AAA development studios no longer actually have as big of a reach as they once did. We are seeing several AAA games and several AAA developers actually shut down. We're seeing games flop. We're seeing a bunch of crazy stuff out there. And why is that? Well, some of it's marketing. Some of them don't even know what's going on, but most of it is overinflated budgets and actually not developing a good game and just developing propaganda over and over again. Some of the most successful games in the past couple of years have been AA games, and the AAA games that actually do well have been targeted towards their audience first, know what they're doing, and are actually focused in on giving you a good game and not propaganda. That's something Ubisoft really needed to figure out, and it's not going to figure out, especially when we have calls for them to get sold to Tencent. So we still need to innovate, he continued. We need to control our costs because they have ballooned clearly over the last 5 years. Maybe, just maybe, adding, I don't know, 20 million euros onto your game is gonna increase your costs. It's gonna cause you problems. Maybe having massive development teams and massive development crews to come in and work on your game is also ballooning your costs, is also making your games far too outrageous, and is making it harder and harder for you to actually turn a profit, and making it harder and harder for you to actually just put out a quality product, mainly because of the amount of overhead that you have to now implement on every single game. So much so that there are some games and some development teams that the only thing a person does is make a chair and focus in on making a single chair. That's it. But these are all examples of the current state of the modern gaming industry. And when we go back to what he had to say, we can scroll down here and see what he ended up finishing out his statement. Next, he shared how the company does not know where players are and does not know how to get them to play their games. He said, "We need to find where players are, which has been a question I've been having for the last 2 years. Where are players? What are they playing? Where do we reach them? All this will become clear in the coming years as our industry transforms." No, you need to figure it out now. You need to have already figured this out. It's not that hard to convince gamers to play your game. It's not that hard to actually get gamers in front of your game. All you need to do is put out a quality product and gamers will flock to your game. If you put out a good product, people are going to come and actually support it. And then where are the gamers? They're on YouTube. They're watching people play games. They're interacting with games. They see these titles all day and night. They know where to go to find your game. You just need to actually give them a good game that is worth going out there and finding. Sites all over the place are able to promote your game all day and night. And it's not that hard. You take a look at Black Myth Wukong, for example. Black Myth Wukong knew what it needed to do. It put out a good, high quality game. And you want to know what ended up selling that game more than anything else? It was the amount of woke reviews that came out trying to trash the game that ended up propelling that game forward. Take a look at Hogwarts Legacy. Same thing happened there. Take a look at Stellar Blade. So many of these games are getting promoted off the back of word of mouth, off the back of independent streamers, off the back of people that are actually willing to put the money where their mouth is and see what it is that they're doing. As long as you give them that high quality, good game, people will come out the woodworks to support you and actually give you money. But instead, what do you keep doing? You keep pushing propaganda. You keep giving them a subpar game and you keep asking for an exorbitant amount of money all at the same time. That doesn't produce a healthy industry. That produces a very sick industry that just cares about the money instead of the product. All this is bad, but I do want you guys to know it is interesting to see this guy come out here and say this. It is interesting to see how he doesn't know how the industry is changing. He doesn't know how to reach gamers. He doesn't know what to do, and he accepts that all of our budgets are overbloated and stuff like that. All while at the same time, he will come out here and say to your face that he knows that video games can change the world and change how people think. They can change people. They have the power to influence individuals. They know the power of gaming. They know what they need to do. They know that they need to reach gamers because they want to change culture. They want to change the way you actually view the world through subpar propaganda. But the thing is, they don't know how to reach gamers. They don't know how to actually produce results. They don't know how to get people to actually buy their games. But you want to know ways that definitely don't convince people to buy your games? You know, running to your New York Times to just attack gamers, saying all their arguments are just disingenuous and straw manning them instead of trying to tackle everything head on, instead of actually tackling the arguments, instead of actually resonating with the gamers and understanding where they're coming from, just dismissing it. Saying it's just bigoted, saying it's just racist, saying it's just homophobic, so on and so forth, using all the buzzwords to try to promote your game. That doesn't get gamers, and that actually chases gamers away. You want to know what else chases gamers away? Coming out to Japan and telling them specifically to shut the hell up and eat the slop. Shut the hell up, buy our subpar game. That's what your statement was. That's what you did to the Japanese audience. You told them all their concerns are nothing more than bad faith arguments, and you told them to shut the hell up and just eat the slop. This isn't how you get your game in front of gamers. This isn't how you get your product in front of gamers. This is not how you entice gamers to come and play your games, by attacking them and belittling them and going after any other criticisms and just saying that it's all bad faith. That's not how you actually get gamers interested in your game. This is all example after example of Ubisoft not knowing what it is that they're doing anymore, and just more proof that Assassin's Creed Shadows has a massive hill to climb if it even wants to break even this February. They can come out here and try to do the whole, well, Black History Month players, the historical Black Yasuke, blah, 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 blah. They could do that all they want. They're going to be going up against games like Monster Hunter Worlds in February. There's massive amounts of big name games coming out in February. You actually think that you're going to have a good time? You actually think that you're going to be producing results in February? You got a high road ahead of you, and things like this definitely aren't making it easier for you. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.